Here we go. I'm going live on Facebook too.
Welcome to Metaphysical Meanderings with Master Psychic Lana Duncan Hartgraves. Lana's been a practicing psychic for 25 years and has gifts of clairaudience, clairvoyance, and clairsentience. She's an empath, a medium, as well as a pet communicator and health advisor. This week, we continue Paranormal Month. Here,
Yes.
April is Paranormal Month.
Paranormal Month.
And today, we're going to be visiting the Singular Fortean Society. Lana.
Welcome, everybody. So what we're doing today, get me on the camera here.
Yeah, I got you, girlfriend.
You got me? Okay. So what we're doing today is, I don't know if you guys have heard, but the Pentagon has acknowledged, remember I said watch the skies. I don't know if you guys remember me saying in May to watch the skies. There's UFOs and they are acknowledging that they exist, and they're pyramids, which is extremely significant, by the way. Keep watching the skies. So there's bigger things out there than we can ever imagine. So, what I've done is I network well. I find somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody. And I found a really cool person and a really cool website. And it's called the Singular Fortean Society. And his name's Tobias. Hi, Tobias.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. And it's paranormal. It's metaphysical. I mean, all of it together. That's why we're doing Paranormal Week and Month. So, okay. So tell me, first of all, what does Fortean mean? What does that Singular Fortean mean? What is that all about?
Sure. So the reason that we decided to name it the Singular Fortean Society is after Charles Fort, who was an early 20th century collector of weird news stories. So what Fort would do is he would collect these news clippings from all over the world, and he would write these fantastic, sort of often tongue-in-cheek examinations of these stories, making connections to them. And he really heavily influenced an entire generation or more of paranormal or ufological, you name it, investigators. I mean, everybody from John Keel to Lauren Coleman, read Charles Fort and was influenced by him when they started, doing their own investigations. And so his approach always was to sort of take things holistically. One of his most famous quotes ever is, one measures a circle beginning anywhere. So that is sort of to say that by examining any aspect of the paranormal, we can learn something about all of it because it seems to be interconnected in some way. And so that's where we got Fortean from. And then as far as the singular and society part, singular, it can mean one, but we never really intended it to mean that, because it can always or also mean remarkable or unique. And so sort of our perspective is that everybody has something to add in these conversations. We focus on witnesses and their experiences. And so, everybody being unique and remarkable and having something to add, we wanted a society, a community, if you will, of these singular Forteans, these unique, remarkable people, all of whom have an opinion that is worthwhile, all forming this society together. And so that's why we founded this website.
Cool. Okay. So we're looking through this website. And by the way, you guys got to check this out, because this Fortean, I say Fortean, I guess it doesn't matter, but Fortean, singularfortean.com, correct? And you need to check some of this stuff out, because they've got Bigfoot Print, they've got eyewitness accounts. Some of the weirder stuff we were looking at was the Mothman from Woodstock. And that was just recently witnessed, right? Wasn't that a very recent one, of the more the recent ones?
It was definitely one of the more recent ones. It was also one of the ones we were able to best investigate. So This happened back it was February of 2019.
Okay.
And a man who lives in Woodstock was, and he was running a totally normal errand. And this is so common. People will just be out going about their business, and they kind of just run headlong into the impossible. So
exactly.
This guy, he's out, he's getting a gallon of milk from Walgreens, just totally mundane. And he's headed home, and on his way home, he has to drive by the Dewfield Conservation Area.
Okay.
And so the entrance is right on the road there, and as he's coming up on it, it's 8 p.m., so it's already dark out.
Mm-hmm.
And in his headlights, he sees this thing that he said at first he thought it was a Bigfoot, but then he noticed it had these huge leathery wings, and this thing is just walking across the road in front of him, and so he catches it in his headlights for several seconds as it's walking, and then it crosses the street and it's gone.
Wow!
And right across from the entrance to the conservation area,
cool.
There's one house, and it's really the only house over there, and then like a row of trees, and behind that is the McHenry County Fairgrounds. So the way it was headed, probably nobody in that house would notice, and then it's in the fairgrounds, and it's all sort of woods.
Exactly. I know where this is all at. Yep, I know where it's at. Okay. And it just disappeared.
Well, he definitely lost sight of it. I mean, it was dark out, and once it's out of his headlights, and it
that's not the first one, though. That one's like at least 2 or 3, right, from this area, right?
Morning, Lisa. Yeah, they've seen.
We had received several sightings. There was an interesting one from Wakanda, which isn't too far away.
Oh, yeah, they're pretty close. Okay.
That was one where, and this woman saw something very similar to the gentleman in Woodstock. So her sightings are actually 2 years apart. I believe it was 2014. And then almost to the day, 2016, the first one she saw was this weird beam of light from her apartment building. So she's like in her room, and she sees outside this beam of light come down from the sky. Almost looks like a searchlight, and it's sort of like searching around, and she can't find any source for it. Like there's no helicopter or anything out there that would explain this. And so she's terrified. She thinks that whatever it is going to come get her, but ultimately it ends up going away. And she doesn't think too much about it beyond that. And then 2 years later, in the exact same spot, she's taking the garbage out, and she sees this thing, this hulking, furry humanoid with these bat-like gargoyle wings, just like the guy in Woodstock. And she's terrified.
Well, yeah.
Right, like anybody would be.
Yeah.
And she's fumbling with her keys, trying to get the door open so she can run back inside. And this thing starts moving towards her, and she says the way it moved was sort of like somebody moving through a strobe light. So it wasn't so much like this fluid movement; it's just sort of making little jumps towards her, like disappearing and then appearing a little closer. And so she finally gets her key in the lock, and she manages to get the door open, and she's sure this thing has to be right behind her. And she turns around, and it's just gone.
Okay. Wow.
So, I mean, that was a mysterious one.
What do people think? They don't know what it is? What is it? What do you think it is?
Well, I don't know. I mean, that's a good question. It seems so bizarre, and so, I mean, just from a biological standpoint, it seems impossible. So, from, if you can sort of safely rule out an undiscovered animal or something based on our current knowledge of biology, then you have to start entertaining even more bizarre explanations, and then you have to start thinking about like other dimensions or
other dimensions,
spiritual component.
I've been told a lot about stuff like this, where that our veils are thinning and that there's other dimensions and they're crisscrossing. So I have been told that a lot, and we were just discussing that before we got on here. The weirder, but the Pentagon is admitting there's UFOs. They're absolutely admitting this on reliable news sources. So what is it? Do you know what I get it. What are they? Nobody knows. I also saw you say had something on here also about like Bigfoot, right? Like you had some Bigfoot prints, or let's see if we can find them.
You
Yeah.
might be thinking of the Woodstock sighting. So, Emily and I were able to go down there. Emily's my wife, and she's also my partner on
Yes.
the website. And so we were able to go down there and meet this witness in Woodstock. I met this guy. Like I met his wife. We saw their home, and they took us out to this sighting area. And we were poking around out there, and there were all kinds of tracks. There was some canine tracks, and then probably it looked like either heron or crane tracks in the snow. And when we got closer to the entrance of the conservation area there, I noticed on the ground something that looked an awful lot like a humanoid footprint, but bare. So it looked like this bare humanoid footprint, but much bigger than any human's footprint. And there was just one of them, and he was in the ice there. We didn't have any way to record it other than taking a photograph, so I did. But that was bizarre. I mean, that's what he reported was something that would leave a footprint like that, and there one was, and there was only one of them too, which was strange. You would have thought there would be more, but
one. Well, that makes you wonder: could it fly? You know what I'm saying?
Well, the Mothman.
Right,
It's a Mothman, I mean, isn't that bizarre? Yeah, that doesn't even, it looks like it might have claws.
No, what you're looking at on screen is the Bigfoot print in Wisconsin.
Well, that still looks like a claw, too.
Yeah.
Nobody knows what this stuff is. That's the whole point. That's why everybody's kind of investigating, because, I've told Tobias I have something at my house. I've had 3 different sightings of 2 different types of things at my house, and you'll have to come out. Found out that he's going to be living near me, not far, so that's going to work out pretty well. And we're going to have to look into this more. But what is the weirdest thing that you've ever come across and you've been reported about?
Oh boy, there's so many. Honestly, I'll go with a really recent one because this was very interesting. Just over in Oregon, Wisconsin here, we received this report from these 2 young women who had said that they had seen a bulky person with huge wings fly in front of their car as they were just kind of driving around. They're 2 18-year-olds. I mean, I think a lot of us who grew up in rural or small towns in Wisconsin know that it's the thing we do. There's nothing else to do. So you go drive around. And that's what they were out doing. And they saw they described this bulky person with these absolutely huge wings is what they said.
Okay.
And what was interesting about that is that during this sighting, and they actually saw the thing 1 or 2 more times, was they reported that their radio kept glitching. It would tune in other stations. It was staticky.
Wow.
And I thought, okay, that's interesting. And so I talked to them.
Cool.
And Emily and I went out there, and of course we had our recording stuff. We had several cameras, and I turned the radio on. Now our radio didn't do anything strange, and so I was like, well, that's disappointing. But when we got home and I checked our cameras, every single one of them, only in the area of their sighting, you could tell the demarcation of where this area began and ended by watching these videos. But there was this weird audio interference. We would enter this area, and suddenly our cameras would start picking up this audio interference, whatever it was. It just sounded like this scratching or popping. And then we would leave the area, and it would just be gone. And at the time, we had no idea it was happening. I was well, there's nothing here. And then we get home, and holy crap, something was going on.
Okay, sounds like a vortex, huh? There's a lot. I've had a lot of people of recent, and I've talked to a lot of, because I talk to people all over the world, and I've had a couple of people tell me that this area, for some reason, is an extremely high area of vortexes and portals. And I've heard that before, that in some of these more traditional places like I just heard it yesterday, actually, that some of these places, like out in Sedona, they're getting used up because people are like coming there and they're sucking the energy, and that there's other vortexes and other portals that are around or opening up. And one of the key ones is around here. One of the key areas. I had that told to me yesterday. Yes. And I agree. There's something here. There's a very, very high amount of psychics here. And it's not just me. And, my husband still, like I told you, I have, for anybody that doesn't know, I started talking to Tobias because I have stuff at my house. I think from what I'm told, it's a hellhound, but then I also am told it's the Beast of Bray Road. So I've got two different things, and they act differently and they look differently. But I do live on Native American soil, and I live within walking distance of many mountains. So it's sacred soil. I always feel that it's something to do with that. I don't know, but I just know that there's a lot of stuff here. So yeah, but we'll have to get together. Anybody that knows me knows I talk about Weary Road a lot, and I've had people that, oh, that's so dumb. I've been out there. I've never been to a more haunted place in my life, and you have to remember, I clear houses. So I have never experienced what I have experienced, and I have on video. Look at my website. That's on enchantedsky.com. It says ghost photos. I mean, I've got hundreds and hundreds. As a matter of fact, you guys, I have so many that I've lost some because they're on little SD cards, stuff like that. I've got that many. And so I put maybe about 10 on there. Take a look at mine. But those are from Weary Road. We'll have to get together, Tobias, and like I'm telling you, there are portals and vortexes, and there's stuff that people just don't even understand. But I know I've driven through them because when I was in Arizona, we were driving and everybody's, oh, I don't believe in that stuff. Well, I'm driving and literally everything electrical in our car went bad. And it was a rental and it was a brand new car. Everything went out and we drove for about an hour. And as soon as we hit a certain area, it all came back on. So if somebody thinks that there isn't something to this, they better guess again, because there really is something to this. So with that said, thank you so much, Tobias. We'll be watching. If you come up with anything new, let me know. We'll have to get together and go do some hunting, because I can give you some really interesting places that I know for sure stuff are there, because you can feel it. Yeah. So, all right. Thanks a lot. We'll talk later. Okay.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yep. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye.
See, I'm telling you, like, I've heard of the Mothman. I've heard of the Beast of Bray Road. I have heard of the Hellhound was a newer one. There's another entity that looks like it, like when things are pixelated. Again, you know what I mean by that?
Yeah.
There's a being, and they've been reporting that too. So what are these people? What are these things doing? Where are these things coming from? Are they from another dimension? I have made the comment many times that the reason why everybody's catching ghosts on camera, and if you haven't caught anything yet, you guys, watch my videos, because you can see orbs. And there's one that some of you guys have pointed out that sat on my shoulder. It just dropped on my shoulder and sat there.
And for everybody just tuning in, we just want you to know that we were just taking a look and talking with Tobias Wayland from the Singular Fortean Society. So Fortean. Mm-hmm. If you're following on Facebook, if you're following on Enchanted Sky, if you're following on all that good stuff, of course, you are seeing that out there in the comments. Thanks.
Yep. So that's what I'm doing this month. My next show is about a doppelganger. So if you don't know what that is, I'll be explaining that. This is a lot of fun. I'm meeting a lot of people, and it's like I've said, like, I network well. Like, that's my thing. I know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody. And I have met so many, like, really, really cool people. And there's a circle of people who are into the paranormal. There's another circle of UFO people. There's another circle of metaphysical people, and I'm trying to overlap them all. So that's been fun. So anyway, what I'm going to cover today is, now that we've talked a little bit about that, and if you guys have any more questions, go to the ForteanSociety.com. and hit up some of his articles because they are interesting. I was reading a couple of things about him, and we're going to be more active. He's like, let's go together. I'm like, that'd be cool because I know things, and he's moving out towards me, so he's going to be really close to me. So that's pretty cool. So let's see. If what I'm going to cover now is I'm going to talk a little bit about citrine. I'm wearing citrine today. If you guys don't know what citrine is, it's kind of a yellowy, whitish, yellowy stone. And it's got just a little hint of orange in it. That's why they call it citrine. And I find it good for grounding. Now, if you guys don't know what grounding is, I mean, by grounding, I'm an earth sign rising. So I stay grounded, or I try to stay grounded. I'm practical. It's all that stuff. Instead of having your head up in the clouds, you're grounded. Grounding also means money-based and abundance. So citrine, I got this. I'm going to do that whole show. I went to, when I was on my vacation, I went to Marie Laveau's House of Voodoo. So that's where I got this from. So I figured it was a good thing I can remember because the trip wasn't that great, but it was fun. There were days that were fun.
Sure.
But anyway, so citrine, people, I get a lot of people like, this is pseudoscience. Well, I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you a secret because you know what? A lot of people say the zodiac in astrology is pseudoscience, and I'm going to tell you it's not. I had somebody say this to me recently because I think we're all consciously awakening. Okay. And what we're doing is all of us are growing together. And I had somebody say to me that said, Buddha says that we really need to be studying astrology so that we can try to master what we're trying to master. And that he says that right in his teachings. And someone said that to me and I'm like, yes, that is true. So anyway, back to the citrine. Okay. So citrine. So listen, if you want something that's like, they call it the merchant stone. Did you know that? The merchant stone.
Ooh.
So you buy a great big piece of citrine and set it up on your table. And it attracts abundance.
Whoa.
Okay. Another one that I found always attracted abundance, though, is also rose quartz. Rose quartz is just a really good one. Although I've quit wearing mine. I don't know if I guys showed you. Mine are white now. I've worn all the color out of them.
Yep, you shared that one.
Yeah. So anyway, so some of the stuff for citrine. Okay. So the success stone. So if your intention, notice intent. Remember I've talked about the I am principle and intent, right? Involves achieving success in financial adventures, the best stones for boosting that. Okay. Also, this is some of the stuff that it promotes. It promotes motivation, creativity, and self-expression. So, okay, it's pretty cool. All right. So try this one if you are trying to maybe start a new business. Start wearing it around your neck. See what else could be doing with it. You could be trying to get your business to grow, welcoming people to your business, that kind of stuff. Okay. And it helps you, also revitalizes you, and it also helps you with concentration. So it helps you concentrate, which I really, really need right now. So, yep. Okay. Now, getting back to some of this paranormal stuff. I've done a lot of research on this, and I've discovered a couple things, and I've got a lot of followers that were blowing up when things like I said in May. It's on my YouTube, it's on my Facebook, it's on my TikTok that something's going to happen in May that paranormal. Now, 3 days ago, like I said, the Pentagon admitted there's UFOs. Now, here's the kicker. All right, they are triangular. They are pyramid shape. Why are they pyramid shape? Well, why did the Egyptians make pyramids? The perfection of a pyramid. Okay. It also represents stuff, higher knowledge. I want to ask you one question, and I want to see what you think. Do you think that if the aliens, if UFOs landed what would that change the world? How would that change the world? Do you think that there'd be hate and there'd be racism anymore? Or will we all be banded together? Here's a better question. Do you think that they've been watching us and they know that it's a mess down here right now? And that's why they're doing this? Just a thought. That's my thought, and I think that I'm right. I don't know what you think, but that's what I think about the whole thing. Okay? So I got a couple questions. Okay. Does the stone need to be in a certain location in the office? You know what? I have a friend that did very well. By the way, we're going back to the citrine thing, metaphysical meanderings, right? And they put a great big chunk of citrine by their cash register. And that he swore it worked. So he was really, really like big into that. He swore it would work. Okay. So try that. Okay. Some other things that are going on right now are I am dreaming up a storm, and I thought it was just me. So they are absolutely watching us. Yes, Polly. Yes, it's true. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about certain things. I kind of keep an open mind about all of this. But I do know that right now we are in a growth process. And this is the stuff that I'm being told. These are not just predictions. This is what I'm being told. First of all, I have a very good friend, and she's been on here. Her name's Brenda Earthberg. She's also a psychic and a medium. And her family keeps coming to me. And I keep thinking I'm crazy. And I'm like, and they tell me that. And then she shows me pictures of some of her like great grandmothers. That's who it is. They're telling me to be prepared and be ready. And I'm like, what? But they don't tell me anything else. Be ready. And I thought it was just me also that something's up. You can feel it. There's something up, and it's big. It's big, and it's not bad. By the way, it's not bad. Okay. All right. So just remember, okay, that it's not just me, it's collective. And I got somebody I get a lot of people on my Facebook especially when some of my predictions come true, people blow my Facebook up and they blow my phone up because they have my text number and they start talking to me. And so I had yesterday, somebody texted me, I've been dreaming about aliens. And so it's not just me. That's my point. That my friend Brenda is also, the stuff she kept getting was almost precise to what I'm getting. And they got the message also to watch the skies. That's it. Now, what does that mean? Does it mean astrology? Does it mean watch the skies? There's aliens? Mm-hmm. We don't understand. But as a psychic, as a medium, as an empath, I want you guys to all understand that you may be getting this message over. Okay, see, look at. Hey, Dawn. I was told to be ready as well for over a year.
That's Dawn, first name, last name.
Yep.
Hey, Dawn. And then, of course, Shayna says, now, I just watched a documentary that warns of a false flag, quote unquote, staged alien invasion. So, ...
I don't know what's happening. There's something in it, but I'm not saying, you know what, this is an interesting point. We're human beings and we're violent. I mean, I'm sorry. We're violent. We're scared of what we don't understand. We're scared of what we don't know. We're scared. We're frightened. We're this, we're that. If aliens are truly created by God, like everything else, why would they be here to hurt us? Are they here to help us? I think they are. I think that this is enough now, and that they're coming to help. We've messed our planet up. We've messed our species up. I mean, I wear something on the back of my vehicle on my Jeep says my species disappoints me, and it's true. I mean, so something's up. I just know that there's something up. So.
Well, the interesting thing, and this is the producer's input on this.
Okay.
That we humans, are pretty naive to think that a superior species would come here to learn from us,
Exactly.
right? And we're pretty dumb in the universe.
Yeah.
We're this little marble way out on the edge, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
yep,
this is
yep.
so I always kind of,
Yep.
oh, they're going to come here and they'll probe us to learn from us. Yeah, maybe they'll come to help.
Yes,
Right?
I think that we've screwed everything up so bad.
If they figured out a way to get here and we haven't figured out a way to get there,
Exactly.
they're far superior.
Exactly. We haven't even scratched our surface of
Right.
what everything else is going on, you know. But it's just an interesting thing that when I said that something's up and you could feel the energy changing, and within a couple of days of me saying, and I put this on so please watch this on my YouTube, Lana's Enchanted Sky. That's my YouTube.
Good morning,
Hi, Anna. That they're admitting that there's stuff they don't know that's out in space. That the Pentagon is finally admitting it. Well, they've known for a long. They've known since whenever. And I mean, I have remember I tell you I know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody. I have somebody I know very well that says he gets visited since he was 3, and he drew a picture and he showed me, this looks through my window at me since I was about 3. I don't remember seeing it as I've gotten to be an adult, but when I was little, it used to come and visit, and it looks very much like an alien. I'm sorry, got the big eyes, and he says, and he drew a picture of it, and that it comes and I think it visits me. And I always keep an open mind because I mean, come on, I clear houses from ghosts. I mean, I keep a really super open mind, and I never judge.
Yeah.
And I believe him. I just there's just stuff out there.
Well, I will say, and Anna, how are we going to notice them? That's a good question. I will say I don't think they have the big bulbous heads and bug eyes like E.T. or like all these drawings. I think that, I mean, the way you're going to notice them is there's going to be an interesting energy around them, or they may do something that you just go, wait a minute, that was not human.
Yep, that's exactly. And you hear of people saying this stuff, and you're like, okay, does this make sense that the veil, that the two worlds are thinning? I've been hearing that for a long time. That's why you're seeing more people with psychic ability. They can see and feel things they couldn't before.
Yeah.
But you notice just within the last, and it's not that our cameras are better, you guys. All right. It's that there's more of them and it's easier to see them. Orbs. Like if you haven't watched any of my videos on my YouTube channel, Lana's Enchanted Sky, if you haven't watched anything on there, please watch them, because the day that I came down with COVID and I got sick, I was sick. An orb, I knew I was coming down with something. I knew that I was sick. And I had a couple of my followers say, you know, you don't look well. And I'm like, I was down within a day. It sat on through the whole show. And it was it would go from purple to green, and it would sit right on my shoulder. I had no knowledge it was there the whole time. I know who it is. I think it's my father-in-law, but because he peers all the time, he thinks he's funny. But it's been gone like 5 years now. Anyway, it sat right here the whole hour. It just literally, saw it do this, sit there. Now remember, this was December the 26th, the day after Christmas, and I did the show. It's not a bug. And it sat there, and near the very end, it did this, and it just kind of floated right off into So, well, why is this? Why? And I still think that we are in, I'm getting moved around here, there. We are in a process of huge transformation as a species. This is predicted. Here we go again, back to my Aquarius and the age of Aquarius and the whole thing starting in December of 2020. Okay.
Yeah. So Daniel says if these ships are shaped like pyramid, maybe it's connected to the pyramids in Egypt.
Yes, that's my husband. Yes, he. I know he's been listening to me talking about this because I'm like, but if they're, and I'm going, okay, that tells you the pyramids are connected to Egypt, and people have been saying for years they're made by aliens because no one knows how they did it, and blah blah blah. I keep an open mind. I'm telling you guys, I'm keeping an open mind because to me this all makes. Me, in my head, it's starting to make sense.
Shayna says there's a thing called CE5. protocol that is supposed to help you, quote unquote, see them.
Oh, really? That's
So
interesting.
you may want to write down.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to write
protocol.
that down. And you know what? I learn stuff from you guys all the time. CE5 protocol. Okay. I know I can see ghosts. I know I can see dead people. So I never thought about it. Like I said, there's stuff at my house. Stuff. So, and I keep saying that I guess that I'm a Pollyanna Sagittarian. So Sagittarius have a tendency to be really super, like, I don't know, Pollyanna-ish is an understatement. We're just real positive. I don't see the bad in any of this.
Positive. Okay.
Yeah, I just don't see the bad in any of it. You know, that's where the human nature takes over. Human nature takes over and goes, oh my God, I'm afraid, oh my God. Ah! You know, it freaks out. Yep. And view it from maybe they're helping us. Maybe they've been here for a long time. I think they've been here. I think they're in, I don't know. I don't know how. I think they're here among us and we don't even realize it. Anyway, because the more people I talk to, the more I'm finding out that there are a lot of people who have seen something and they don't know what it is at night. Okay. And they know that they can't be planes because they like move backwards. They do things like that. So, okay. Let's see. Any other questions?
Well, sometimes too, it's going to be the night drones that the government has out there to watch things.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what? I do agree with that too. Yeah. There are times, yes. Drones are starting to get, there's starting to be quite a few of them. I actually have a couple of people that have had drone experiences. So anyway, so with that said, I'm going to start this a little bit early because yeah, okay. I know. You know how many people are asking me to. They're asking me to just do a whole show of this. Let's just do a show of me asking questions. Okay. I don't know what to say to that because, like, maybe I'm going to try that once or twice where I do just answer questions for you guys, because a lot of people, that's why they tune in. That's where most of my people come from. So, yeah. So anyway, I'm opening this up. So, you can ask me any kind of questions. One question, please, or please be a little specific because it's hard when there's like 450,000 people watching, because that's about how many are watching. I used to think, honestly, when I first started this, and it's been, it'll be a year already.
Yep.
Coming up here in July.
Yep.
And I used to think, well, nobody's watching because I'm not getting questions, but there's a lot of people out there watching that are just silent. So, and I find that interesting because I'm offering free questions if you got a free question, but I guess people are just watching. Either that or maybe they don't have access to a keyboard.
So Anna says, what do you think they would do if they see us afraid of them?
I think they know. And I think that's why they are not approaching us. Well, okay, we are violent beings. What are we going to do to them? Aren't we going to shoot at them? Aren't we going to, we are violent. We don't like things we don't understand as human beings. So we don't accept things that are different from us. I think I had one of my friends pose this. Why would they be violent? They could, if they wanted, they're that advanced, they can get here from another galaxy, another planet, something else. Couldn't they blow us up if they wanted to? Of course they could. Yeah. They don't want to. I don't think they come to harm us. I think they are coming to help us. Yeah. Okay.
So Dawn asks, will I die? I think is what she's saying. She has surgery in June from her car accident. Is that going to go well?
Yeah. Okay. You are fine. You're going to be laid up a little longer than you thought you would, but you need it. You need that downtime. Okay. And you'll be fine. I want to say you have another old injury that bothers you on occasion, and it mixes together with this. And that's what's keeping you a little bit down, but you'll be fine. It's just going to take longer. You're going to get real impatient because you are an impatient person. So at least that's what I pick up. I don't mean to be negative, but and it's just going to take longer than you want, especially in the summer. It's going to be in the summer, and you're going to be laid up a little bit, but it's the universe's way of slowing you down. You're going too fast.
There you go. Shayna asks, Lana, do you ever feel an odd energy that kind of throws you off? Would you sense an alien?
You know what? I know that this energy that I've been feeling for the last few months has been off, and I've been talking about it. Remember, I had mentioned way back in my predictions, my first prediction podcast. I do one every few months. That there was a speeding up of energy from February to April, and you could feel it. I can feel it, and now I hit April. I'm starting to hear things. People are telling me from the other side, be watching the skies, stuff like that. And now I feel that weird. I know other people are feeling this. I know you can, because I've heard a lot of people say it.
Dawn just responded, yes, I am impatient. I'm always on the go. Next one is from our good friend Anna. Do you see me ever getting married again? And could I be with this major person coming in about 4 months?
Okay. I'm on 216thenet.com Facebook, and we're not connected completely. We are sort of. It's a long story. I have one taping here. I have one taping somewhere else at the same time. So we have 2 screens going. So yes, you will marry, but it's going to be a while. You're going to live with them for a while. You might not even get married. You might just stay like living together, but it's not for 2 or 3 years. It's going to be a while. You've got to get yourself in the right place, and you're not. Okay. But yeah, there will be somebody else coming in. Okay. And I have on my screen, I have, Ann, do you have any messages for me? Be careful, be very careful with your next purchase. I don't know if it's a big purchase. I don't know if it's a car, and I don't know what it is. They're telling me to tell you to be careful with what and plan it out. Sometimes you are too quick and you're just kind of off your cuff type of thing, and you need to think it through and make a plan for it. I don't know what you're buying, but there's something big. Okay. Lisa Logan on here says, should I pursue my career in metaphysical psychology or business administration for holistic medicine, something else? Lisa, yeah. You should be doing holistic medicine, very much so. But you can also do do it all together. Why not? We're all learning. So, but you notice how everybody's getting into this, and everybody's like, oh, it's trendy. I don't think it's trendy. I truly don't think this is a trend. This is the way it's going. Religion as we know it is not going to be the same. It's changing. 2100 year cycle. Okay. It's changing quickly. So I want everybody to take what I'm saying and process that. Okay. Let's see. Okay. So back to, okay. Leah says, yes, I can feel it too. I'm telling you, there's something here. I can't always, any clues?
Yeah,
What's
she
that
says,
saying?
good morning. Can you please give me any clues, directions as to what I'm supposed to be doing in my life?
Leah,
you're supposed to be listening to 21.6 The Net. In regards to her career path, she says, to narrow it down.
I feel like you're really you're good with numbers and well organized. And you need to be concentrating in something on that. That is your talent. Okay. I feel like you could like run things too. Like you could have people underneath you, then you'd be a very good boss. You'd be a good boss. You know, like some bosses, like they aren't good bosses. You know what I'm saying? And I really think that you need to be thinking about what you want to do as far as, I don't know if it's opening a business or it's a business admin. It's something of that order. You also could be doing human resources. You'd be very good at that also. Okay.
There you go. Dave asks, I'm on a new journey of self-discovery and starting my business following my dreams. Yet I'm hesitant and still feel a void. Any advice?
Dave, just do it. That's the big thing with all of us is that we are human, and then our right brain and our left brain don't agree. And when you're stuck and when you're saying you're feeling a void, that's that stuck thing you feel. Okay. It's because you're not in alignment. You're out of alignment. And I've talked about that alignment thing like a whole lot. Matter of fact, one of my next shows again is going to be about alignment. Okay. So just remember that when you force yourself to do something, that's the only way you fill that void. Because all of a sudden you're aligned and you're like, oh, this is what I came to do. Yay. Okay. I know it's hard if it's even little tiny things to get you moving towards that. Okay. You're starting your business, following your dreams. Make yourself a logo, make a card. It's forcing you forward. It's little and it's baby steps. And if you're scared, you'll stop being so frightened because you're starting to see it manifest.
There's the old Buddhist story, the ant and the elephant, right? And the elephant is really our conscious mind, and the ant is our subconscious mind. And the ant can bite the elephant and get the elephant. It's just something that small can get the big elephant to move and overcome our conscious mind. So, listen to the ant, not the elephant.
There you go. The elephant, is that the elephant in the room? Kind of.
Hey,
there you go. Could be. So there you go. Okay. So I got a question here. Okay. Her name's Polly. My daughters and I are living with family when we get a home of our own soon. It's going to take you about a year. I wish I could tell you sooner, but you have some things to take care of. And I'm not sure if it's how your finances are, but I feel like it's credit or something. So you have to take care of stuff so that you can get the loan and you can get the house. I do feel like maybe within about 9 months, 6 to 9 months, you will have an apartment or something, and then you'll move from there. Okay. So the ball is rolling slowly, but it'll start going better for you late summer, early fall. Okay. Let's see what Leah says. Thank you. Okay. Any other questions? Okay.
Thanks, Dawn. Yeah, sometimes you got to reach. Sometimes you got to. That's right. Sometimes you got to reach back into the catacombs to pull some things out.
Yeah. So while we're waiting, I usually include a card of the day, and I haven't done that in a while, have I? So I usually pick a major arcana, and people wonder how these work, and they're not magic. I think they're psychological. Mm-hmm. I don't think they're magic. I think they're just reflecting back to you. I'm going to pick the Lovers card, because the Lovers doesn't really mean lovers. And just like the Death really doesn't mean death. People, oh my God, I got a death card, I'm going to die. No, the Death is a new start. The ending of something old, the starting of something new. When we die, we go back to heaven. We start it over again, right?
Now, before you do that, though, I just want to remind people that you can catch Lana everywhere. You can catch her on her YouTube page. You can catch her on our YouTube page, 216. You can catch her on our Facebook, her Facebook. If you tune in to her YouTube channel anytime during the week, you're going to see things. Now, the other thing is this. You're working out and you need a cool podcast? Go out to anchor.fm/metaphysical meanderings. Metaphysical _meanderings, and you can listen to all of our past shows as well. So the fun thing is you can have her 24 hours a day and just be enlightened and meander a little bit with her.
Yep. So, and I'm also on TikTok. By the way, I've only been doing it a month. I thought, I'll go on TikTok because, I don't think I kept thinking, well, it's going to fall apart because, the government did this and that. And I'm going to tell you something. I did it in 1 month. I had one of them go viral. I almost have 1 million hits on one of my videos. So I've got a lot of followers going on there too. So be checking me out for daily. I'm also daily readings and stuff.
Leah, Thanks so much. I love you. You're beautiful.
Who are you, guy?
Yeah. I'm the man behind the screen.
That's
Pay no attention to me.
That's right. You're optimistic and lovely.
You know what? It's easy when you're around this energy, and I love all y'all too. It's wonderful. Shayna says, I like your YouTube cusp readings.
Thank you.
Right.
You know what? I'm one of the only people that does cusps. I know there's a couple other people on YouTube that have, I'm sorry, they've copied me. Because I looked this up and did when I started this 2 years ago. Nobody was doing cusps, and I'm a cusp. You're a cusp. We're a little different. And by the way, my Jupiter, which makes me who I am, want to know the link to you? It's Cancer Leo cusp. My Jupiter. So, by the way, which is a very interesting thing. I heard, and I'm like, that must be the connection to Kent, because I always say he's a soulmate. Yeah, anyway, I've known him before. Yeah. I have known him before. I'm telling you, I have.
You're picking the card, but Michelle asks, do you see relocation of any time in my future?
Not for a while. In about a year and a half, you're having an opportunity, and it's a free will on that one. I feel like you could stay where you're at, or you could walk away. But it's about a year and a half down the road. I feel like you got too many obligations right now, karmically. You got to get rid of, you got to clear some karma. There's somebody that's holding you back somehow. I don't know if it's a mother, a father, a lover. I'm not sure, but somebody holds you back, and you've got to get that karma out of the way. Mm-hmm. I channeled that. I don't even know what I said. So anyway, sometimes I do that and I don't remember what I say.
You have a card, madam.
Yes, I do. Okay. So I've got the Lover's card. So I usually put, this is the card of the day, like on Sesame Street, the letter of the day. This is the card of the day.
Buy the card of the day.
That's right. That's right. It's called the Lovers. And it's the card. It's a 6. And a little bit about the card. It can mean lovers, but you have a choice to make. That's what, are you going to bite the apple? Look, here is the tree of knowledge on the card. Let's see the card. The tree of knowledge is right there. All right, it's right there. And what are you going to do with it? Now, this is a very unique one, because there's a couple cards that I think are just like my favorite cards. I like this card because it's also been sent by heaven. It is being blessed to you by the universe. That's why the angel is up there. Mm. So for a lot of people, you like this card because you think that maybe, I got a lover's card. It means I got a lover coming. No, you have a choice to make. Mm. Maybe you have a choice between two people. Yeah, that's why. Maybe you have a choice to get into the relationship.
That's you don't have to. You don't ever. Naked people on there. That's my favorite card.
Yeah, So it's, all I know is that when you see it, there's a choice, and it's a free will on this one. And it's interesting the way it's drawn, because remember, all these cards are different. And the Rider-Waite, this is the Rider-Waite, by the way. The Rider-Waite is the traditional deck that every single deck is based off of. So that you understand that this deck it's got the deck of 78. And there's major arcana. This is a major arcana. This is a changing point for you. You need to make a choice. Okay. Yeah. And between something you love, you may have two choices to make. Now you can, like I said, you can always make a choice not to get involved in something too. So you have a romantic partner that comes, and you may get this card because you know what? It's a choice that has to be made, right? Okay.
So Desiree however you want to say that, says, husband has expressed to me that he's struggling to communicate with me. He does not know why. I told him I can support, but cannot help him. No. What's going on? And she continues that he stated that he's struggling. It says it should be easy, but struggling for most of the marriage. He acknowledged it's him. What do you feel is happening there?
There's some from a past life coming out. I don't know if you guys noticed this, but I want you to pay attention to this. If you ever get to a certain age, all of a sudden you're afraid of water, or you get to a certain age and you're scared of heights, or you get to a certain age and you just can't communicate anymore. That's past life, because your cell memory hits the age of 42, and all of a sudden you're deathly afraid of heights that you were never before, and there's no reason about it. You're carrying a lot of karma. People don't realize how much from past lives are affecting themselves. I don't like heights anymore. And when I was little, I'd be up in the top of the tree. Yeah. I never had any problems. And as I've gotten older, I'm more like, I shouldn't be on this high ladder. You know what I mean? It's just, and I had to have hurt myself at a certain age. And
Yeah.
I think I did. I think I fell and hurt my back in another lifetime. And so I'm scared.
Yeah.
So see what I'm saying? So your thing, Desiree, has to do with something from a past lifetime. And I want to say, and I don't know if you agree with this. Tell me if you think this is right. You were the mother and he was the son. In another lifetime, it's coming back full circle.
Whoa.
That's the communication problem, because you were his mother. He couldn't talk back to his mother. You know what I'm saying? It's societal and stuff like that. So there's something there that's what's going on.
And of course, you can reach out to Lana and do a past life, right?
Regression. Yeah. I am going to be doing a regression, by the way, you guys. I'm doing regression from a friend. She is scared to eat. Oh. All of a sudden, she's become scared to eat. She's had some stomach problems. So I'm doing some hypnosis to try to get rid of that. And I'm really, to be honest, I'm extremely inexpensive compared to most. Some of these hypnotists are like wicked expensive. And you're like, why? I don't get it. But anyway, so I do hypnotism. I am a certified hypnotist also. So my specialty is more like past life regression, stuff like that. So, okay.
So looks like NLL Leonard says, I know that you connect with animals. I still wonder about my childhood dog, Laddie. Can you tell me anything?
Well, okay, I have a question for you. Was it a dark dog? Was it like a lab or something? I'm seeing like a dark colored lab. Is it? I don't think it's a collie. Laddie would be. And I first saw that, and I'm like, oh no, I see a dark colored dog, and it's more. See if that's the right one. Okay.
Yep.
Julie, hi Julie, that's my cousin.
Hey.
Julie, yeah, you do. You have another. It's the final one.
Brown chicken, brown.
You know
cow.
what I'm talking about. It's the final one. Okay, but it's not happening for about 2 years. So take this time for you. Get in the right place. And I don't say where you're living now is not where you're going to be staying, by the way. Oh. And I mean location. I think you're going to make another move.
Hey.
Okay.
Congratulations.
It is a border collie cross. Okay.
And he was black.
I was seeing black. I was seeing a black dog, and then I first saw a collie type dog. Okay. That's who. Okay. He's fine. He's on the other side. He's got a couple of little dogs with him, and I don't know if you know who they are. They're like little like Chihuahuas, and he's running around with them. So I don't know if that's other family dogs, because they all know each other on the other side and they hang out. So yeah. So I just thought I would point that out, okay? Because I kept seeing a dark colored dog. Kind of to me, well, yeah, it could be border collie cross. Could be a little bit shorter haired too, but I was seeing dark colored dog. Yeah. So okay. Yes, black. Yep.
Dash hounds, he said.
Oh, they're dachshunds. Yeah. Oh, they're lots of dachshunds. Thank you. They're real small dogs. They're like maybe that big. Okay. Thank you. That was what I saw. Okay.
Yeah, lots of them.
Lots of them. Yep. Yeah, there's lots of little dogs with him. Yep. So,
that's
okay. Cool. Amber on my Facebook wants to know if there's spirits in your home. Yeah, it's your grandma. It's your grandma. I want to say a little bit late, very, very gentle, and I want to say very motherly, like very. It feels like a grandmother type to me. Gray hair. She put it back, a little heavier set, but not real tall, not real chubby, but just a little bit, a little bit bigger. She always looked nice. It was important for her to look nice. So I think that's your grandma. So tell me if I'm right. Okay. We've got only like one or two more questions.
Yeah, we got about 2 minutes.
Yep. You're welcome. I thought I saw little dogs all over.
So do you have anybody else on Facebook that has a question over there?
No, I do not right now.
So I'm going to go back to the episode where we did you did your predictions.
Yes.
You predicted a huge tornado season in the South.
Yes, I did.
Yes.
You have to remember, you guys, I do not remember a thing I say, and that is right, isn't it?
And Alabama, I mean, that thing was a huge.
Yeah, I was just down there after I went down to Louisiana, and all the signs on the sides of the roads are just bent down.
Yeah, huge trees.
I channel that, you guys. I don't remember stuff I say. So
there's another one. that you saw. So
Okay. So,
I wanted to let everybody know that.
What the reason that he's doing this, you guys, is he's got me on a list, and then he reminds me and he checks them off when I'm right. Yeah. So didn't I say that we have a lot of rain this season?
You did.
Yep. Wait, it's still coming.
It's a wet spring, I believe, is what you said.
Yep. We're still coming. But you know what? But where? When I say wet spring, I guess I mean here, but
I went back and I watched that episode. And yes, indeed, you did say there's a death in the royal family. I don't know who it is. I don't know if it's the queen, if the queen's going to die.
I predicted it. Okay. Yes. So, I get so many people on my TikTok. Oh, psychics aren't real. You know what? And I'm not saying I'm wonderful, but please watch these predictions. How could I be making that up? It was a
and you said, now you're going to have to excuse me because I don't do this just for a state or a particular area. I'm doing this for the United States, the world. So we have a lot of different things there. So you didn't necessarily pin it, but you said for the tornadoes somewhere, it kind of feels south. So there you go. Leah has a question. She says, Lana, I know I asked my question already, but if I have spirits in my home. I know my grandma's here, but do you see anyone else or anything else?
There's like a man.
If you cannot answer my question, it's okay.
No.
I still love you.
Thanks, Leah. There's a man, and he's not really old. He's under 40 because he's not gray haired. Kind of tall. 5'10" to 6 foot, maybe 6'1". Not real. And I want to say he's connected to you or connected to your grandma. And he's there. He shows up a lot just to hang out, just to see. Like, I feel like he misses the family or something. So I don't know who that is. You figure that out, Leah. I always feel like I'm bragging. And, I don't try, but I'm 100% on mediumship because that is who is there. And sometimes you have to figure it out. Your uncle. Okay. Thank you, Leah. It's your uncle. Okay. I thought so. He shows up. He misses everyone. He misses that connection. And so he's also showing up with your grandma. So he must be like with her too. And they show up together. Okay. You're welcome. Yeah. Okay.
And I just said, it was Prince Philip. Yeah.
Okay. Well, yep. It was Prince Philip. And yes, I made a prediction and didn't even realize it. I did. Yeah. Okay, I'm glad you checked that out because I don't remember me making predictions. But I'm going to tell you, the last 2 or 3 nights, I have been writing like crazy again. They are coming through, and I just write what they tell me. So, okay.
That's it.
All right. Well, we're going to end this.
Yeah, we're right there at the backside of where we need to be.
That's right.
We are humbled, blessed that you all have spent some time with us here this Saturday morning. Again, check her out at www.enchantedSky.com. Go to her YouTube page, her Facebook. Just connect with her and meander with her a little bit. But for all of us here at 21.6 the Net, thanks for getting caught in the net this morning. And we'll see you next Saturday morning. Tune in tomorrow right around 9 a.m. for Lisa's Changing Perceptions.
Okay.